Okay, good morning, guys. Used car list was pretty bland today, so I took that and we picked up a Nissan Silvia s14. And I painted it in the most boring color I could find, and I did very minimal work on it because I really wanted it to look plain and simple. So I went with this very boring aluminum gray. But honestly, let's talk about the car, not exactly how it looks, although it doesn't look bad. It's definitely a 90s car, early 2000s-ish era, kind of thing you would see pretty much anywhere. They're pretty common. They're not completely uncommon. You do see these every once in a while pop up. And they're not really assuming looking, but as far as drivability, they're pretty decent cars. You can really, you really can drive them pretty hard without worrying too much about wiping out. So we kept this one low, right near the 550 range, just because I really didn't want to do a whole lot with this car other than just drive it. And it's not really my go-to. I'm not really a Silvia guy. I'm not really into these cars much. I don't mind the way they look, but to me they've always looked like they weren't really worth the hype. They're a decent car. They do run good. They do handle well. They are sporty enough to be on the course. But to me, they've never really kind of struck that chord with me, I guess you can say. They're just, to me, it's not really. It's not, to me, it looks like a little bit bigger of a 99 Corolla. Like, honestly, it has that Corolla look. But like I said, it does handle well. It does drive well. It does got plenty of normal speed without doing a whole lot to it. It's all around a pretty decent car. I don't hate it. It's just, it's not really my style. I mean, if you guys have been watching these videos, you know that I'm more into the 80s and that kind of stuff, 70s and stuff like that, the older vehicles, just because they had that radical style to them. I mean, you look at this race here and the cars that are in this race, I mean, everything's just kind of boring looking. Even those Group 3 Mustangs right there were passing, they look okay, but to me, that's not the Mustang I like. You know what I mean? That's not the style of Mustang I dig. But all in all, the car is good. It's a great handling car. It's sporty, and it's not too expensive. In the used car list, I think I paid low 50s, I think 40 grand I think I paid for it. It's pretty cheap, so it's pretty easy to tune up, like even if you want to over tune it. So this section right here, these guys were just brutally violent and aggressive. I literally had to cut through the grass to get away from them. That's okay, it's a computer. I don't race against actual people like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and pop out and take a look at it and show you what minor things we've done to it to get the level of handling and control that we got to it, which doesn't need much. This is another one of those cars where you can pick it up right out of the used car bin, throw a couple parts on it, and you're good to go. It's a very easy car, and I think that's why it's not very interesting to me. Like, not only just with looks, but you don't have to do a whole lot to it, so there's nothing really going on with it. 248 horses. She weighs in 2,600 pounds, and she comes stock with a turbocharger. So here's our spec list. 548 performance points. Yeah, I told you the horsepower, the weight, not much going on there. Of course, the sports tires, because honestly, driving in comfort tires in this, like the standard stock tires in this game, it's like driving with vegetable oil on glass. It doesn't do well. Sport suspension, no adjustments because it comes, pre-adjusted. Didn't do anything. Sport computer, didn't even put a manual transmission in it, even though I got it set up for manual. It does got a intercooler in it, just to get a little bit more out of the stock turbo. Sport muffler, sport air filter, sport brakes, sport pads, sport flywheel, and we stroked it up a little bit to give it a little more low end get up and go, and that's it. That's really it. I really wanted this car to look boring as shit, and I think I nailed it. Because it really is kind of a boring looking car. It has a tape deck though. Yeah, I actually like it now. Sweet. But yeah, it's a very simple interior. This is like almost every car in the 90s and this similar setup. Like almost every single car in the 90s looked like that inside. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the views. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you do with the Silvia if you drive it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Do you drift it? Do you track it? Or do you just cruise around with it? Tell me what you do with it and tell me if you like it or not. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.